Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be with you right in a moment as we're just sharing this to our platforms right now. So I want to thank you very much. I'm not sure how many people are helping me actually posting today. So if everyone just bears with me, I will get this for you. Alrighty. So alrighty, so we'll get that out of there. That way we're not talking over each other at all. And let me just make sure. All right, there we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much to coming to another episode of what we call Pigskin Thursday. It's going to be a very special show tonight as we're going to break it down into two parts. Obviously, the first part, we're going to talk tonight about our very successful Tampa Bay Rays. Then the second part of the show, we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and that big 38-10 win over the Green Bay Packers on the weekend, and a couple of different changes going on for this week. We will break that news right with you. For those of you folks that were worried about how the heck am I going to watch the Buccaneer game this week and the Tampa Bay Rays in the World Series at the same time, 8 o'clock on Sunday night, you don't have to worry about it. The NFL took care of you. Instead of an 8 o'clock game versus the Las Vegas Raiders, the Bucs are now going to play 4:05 Eastern Standard Time. After that game, the World Series will follow. So now you'll be able to watch both of those games on Sunday. Once again, for those of you that have not heard, the Buccaneer game has been changed from an 8:05 or 8:35 Eastern Standard Time start time to 4:05 Eastern Standard Time. And great news for Tampa Bay fans because now you'll be able to watch. Now, one of the things, I left this day open today. Had a couple of people that wanted to come on, and I actually rescheduled some of them because I wanted to open this up tonight. We got a lot going on in Tampa Bay. And if you're not fired up right now to be a Tampa Bay fan, then you're never going to be fired up. You know, what I like to do first is ask you all to please do me a favor. We are on a lot of different platforms tonight on our Pigskin Thursday, which is a huge show for us. We sometimes have special guests that'll break in, that'll come in line, start talking about picks. We never know who might jump on. We are going to open up the phone lines right from the get-go here. So for those of you folks that are out there that want to call in, that want to comment on the Bucs, ask questions on the Bucs, ask questions on the Rays, please go ahead. Feel free to do so. We will answer your phone. Remember, we only got one line here at a time. So if somebody's on the phone, no big deal. Just call back. But let's go ahead and ask you real quickly to share this to your platform. Everybody, please share it. It'll take 1 minute. Hit the share button. We got a huge, unbelievable, great show for you tonight. And I'm so happy to be able to do this show being a Tampa Bay fan because so many good things are happening in Tampa Bay. And if you didn't get to see it last night, wow, shame on you. World Series, Rays tie it up, one game apiece. And, you know, we had a pregame show. And by the way, for all you fans that reached out to me today to thank me for that pregame show last night, and there were several people, I want to go ahead and thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. What a great show. We had Brett Boone on yesterday. For those of you that didn't see it, you can go back, watch the interview. Just a great from the 4-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove winner, 2-time Silver Slugger Award winner. Just a great interview. We talked about the playoffs, just talked about a lot of different things, and it was a really great conversation. But when we talked yesterday, we also talked about the World Series and what I felt and what he felt the Rays would need to do to get back on the winning side. And it's amazing. They did exactly what we talked about. I said yesterday on my show, and several of you had mentioned it, and thank you. I am not a mind reader, but sometimes I do know a little bit about what I'm talking about. Brandon Lau, I said, would go off and open up last night. What did he do? 2 home runs, 2 huge home runs. Not just big for the Tampa Bay Rays, but big for Brandon Lau as well, because he hasn't been playing well, at least from an offensive standpoint. Now he breaks out of it. You don't have to worry about it. The schneid's off his back, and I think you're going to see him have a great, great series. We also talked about how in order to be successful in the World Series, you can't do what they did in Game 1 and go 4 for 26 on the top 7 batters in the batting order. So what they do last night, they come back and they go 10 for 27. Much, much better. Lau with a couple of homers. Joey Wendell playing big. And for those of you fans that are here right now, a couple of things. We got the call-in number. We need you to call in. We need you to interact because that's what the show was set up for tonight. That's number one. We need you to share it so other people can leave messages on the comment section. Remember, if you did not give BeLive Studios permission to use your name, it's coming up to me as YouTube user or it's coming up to me as Facebook user. So just let me know your name and where you're from when you leave the message. So instead of saying, hi, Larry, say, hi, Larry, this is Eric from Gainesville or something to that effect, so I can at least recognize you on the air. But, I wouldn't let you guys go without seeing what I saw last night. I never will do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and play some highlights from last night. It's about a 2-minute video we got. We want to thank YouTube very, very much for allowing us and Major League Baseball to use this highlight film from last night's game. I hope you all enjoy it.
Group will face the right-hander, 26-year-old Tony Gonsolin, who is from California. He has an ERA of just under 10, but he's made the one start, looked pretty good.
Now Brandon Lau.
Swing and a drive hit towards left center field, giving chases Taylor all the way back to the wall. It's gone! A first-inning homer for Brandon Lau. 1-0 Rays.
Second home run of the postseason for Brandon. And I really, really like the fact that it went out toward left center field. That means he stayed on the baseball a little bit longer and shows the strength that he has when he does make contact. And that ball got small in a hurry.
Blake Snell, 27-year-old left-hander from Seattle, year 2 of a 5-year deal. And he signed that deal coming off a Cy Young Award-winning season.
Betts and Seager in the postseason, they have been lethal.
Swung on and missed. And the strikeout starts the night for Snell. This is the disappearing slider.
Seager flies out. 2 quick outs for Blake Snell on the first. That is strike 3 called on the outside portion and a 1-2-3 inning on 10 pitches we find out. And at the end of 1, it's Rays 1, Dodgers nothing.
Dylan Floro is now on in relief. The Dodgers already have the infield in. Right-handed hitting Willie Adames. Ground ball to short. Seager comes home and Margot is out from Arlington to Dallas. Gunned down by Seager with the infield in, a big out, and there's 2 gone.
Well, he was going on contact, but with the Dodgers really playing a shift, 3-minute left side of the infield, a little surprising he was going on balls hit to that side of the infield versus hit to the right field side.
The Dodgers, 2 free passes here in the second. Kike in the 5th inning last night, a pinch hit single, drove in a run.
Swing and a miss, he struck him out. A 3-pitch strikeout of Kike Hernandez, and Blake Snell walks 2. And strikes out 2 in the inning to keep the Rays in front.
Betts retired. There's 2 out.
The 2-2 on the way. Got him. Swing and a miss and a beautiful curveball. And folks, Blake Snell's got it going on right now. He's got 6 strikeouts through 3 innings.
I know the Rays have 2 on with 2 outs, and Joey Wendell coming up. Swing and a drive to the gap in right center. On the run, the right fielder. Betsy can't get in. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Troy will score. Here comes Margot flying around third. He will score as well on a 2-run double by Joey Wendell. It's 3-0 Rays.
This pitch comes off the side of his hand. See the circle? See, it did not turn at all. That's just sitting right there in the middle of the plate. may be the biggest hit so far in this postseason. When you think about what they weren't able to do, that is going to add to their confidence.
There's 2 out, nobody on in the 4th. Will Smith coming up.
3-2 pitch, and that's 8 strikeouts for Blake Snell. A dominant start by the former Cy Young Award winner. He has not allowed a hit through 4.
Wow, in a quiet postseason until his first inning home run. He hit 14 during the regular year.
Swinging a fly ball, well hit into left field. Going back is Taylor, all the way back towards the wall. It's gone! A 2-run homer for Brandon Lau, his second of the night, and the Rays have a 5-0 lead.
Rapo taco, if you will, for Brandon Lau. Standing the baseball again, and just they had that one extra biscuit for breakfast this time. Off the top of the wall out there, the yellow padding, and into the seats.
A 2-out walk constitutes a rally for the Dodgers tonight. Now Chris Taylor swings, and there's a fly ball to right field. Heading on back to the wall, and gone, a home run! And Will Margot ran out of room, and Taylor's running around the bases. The Dodgers are on the board. There goes the no-hitter. There goes the shutout. The Rays lead over the Dodgers is now 5-2.
Now the Rays have Choi at third, Margot at first, nobody out. Wendell also popped to medium center, his only time up. Here's a chance for the Rays. Swing and a line drive to the gap in left center. Heading over is Taylor, makes the catch on the run. Choi tags, heads for home, he will score, and the Rays have a 6-2 lead.
Will Smith has struck out twice, and the Rays, they lead at 6-2. Will Smith with a fly ball to left field. Well hit. No four-man outfield's going to defend that. It's a home run. Will Smith with his second home run of the postseason. It is 6-3.
Tell you what, but as the offense the Dodgers have been able to exhibit during the season and also during the postseason, this game is a long way from being over.
Seager will lead it off, facing a shift on the right side of the infield. And there's a fly ball into center field. Kiermaier going back to the wall, and it's gone, a home run. Corey Seager with his 7th home run of the postseason. The Dodgers move to within 2. It's the Rays 6 and the Dodgers 4.
There are 2 men out, 1 run in and 1 man on. It'll be Bellinger, last year's MVP in the National League.
Strike 3 call. 95 right down the middle. He caught Bellinger looking, and the Dodgers are put away here in the 8th.
So the Dodgers are down to their final out. Castillo delivers.
Check swing, the appeal, the Rays win. Strike 3, said Chris Guccione at first, and the Rays have evened up.
Yes, they have. They evened up the series at 1 game apiece. We want to welcome Eric from Gainesville on. We want to welcome Dave from Brooksville on. Lots and lots of people with us tonight. And you should be fired up as the Rays win 6-4 in Game 2 of the World Series. And, you know, a couple of things there that you saw in this film. And I want to break it down in this first half hour before we get to the Buccaneers. For those of you who are joining us, want to know back Big Skin Thursday, we are going to have it. We're going to break down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're going to go over the picks for the upcoming weeks, so don't you worry. But the first half of this show is going to be catered to our Tampa Bay Rays. And, you know, for those of you that are watching that play, a lot of people have asked me, like, what about this ground ball that was into the infield that Margot ran on and got thrown out at home plate? And what you have to realize, folks, if you play the game of baseball, there is something called the contact play. Now, usually in this situation, it's going to be if the ball is hit to the right side of the infield, the runner on third goes on contact. On this play, for all we know, and I'm not sure what they were thinking, but they had the contact play on all the way. So no matter where the ball was hit, as soon as contact was made, Margot was to run it, and that's what he did. Unfortunately, it didn't work, but those are things that are going to win ball games. Those are things you like to see. You like to see that aggressiveness. And we talked about this before. I talked about it with Billy Martin Jr. the other night. We talked about it with Brett Boone the other night. But, you know, everybody talks about the long ball, which we had. You know, you got Brandon Lau hit 2 last night. You got Corey Seager, Will Smith. And I'll tell you something about this Corey Seager guy. What an athlete this guy is. I don't know if everybody heard about this, but in Game 7 of the NLCS, when he won the game, he hit a home run. He went ahead and he went to do that fist pump or elbow, shoulder, whatever they do, and he dislocated his shoulder. So here's a guy who had to get his shoulder put back in place, and in the first 2 games, he hits home runs for the Dodgers. Just amazing, amazing athletes they have on that LA team. But, we did talk about the other night, as I was saying, Billy Martin Jr. and again last night, Brett Boone, and I said it, and they agreed, is that it's not the team with the long ball that's going to win. The long ball is going to help, but it's the team that does the little things fundamentally right, playing great defense, having great pitching, and using the old-fashioned, maybe small ball game to their advantage that is going to win this series. Both these teams have decent pitching. The Rays definitely have the advantage when it comes to the bullpen. They proved that again last night. Overall, I thought the bullpen with Anderson, Luke, Fairbanks, Castillo, as a team, we had 15 strikeouts. I believe Snell had 8 or 9 of those. Yeah, Snell went 4 and 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs, and 9 strikeouts. So overall, the pitching staff, when we get by up to the 5th, 6th inning, we are going to win these ball games. Now, for all of you questioning and asking, what's going on with Nick Anderson? Nick Anderson, the last couple of outings, hasn't been himself. What do you mean? I mean, I really just can't understand some of you sometimes. Nick Anderson has been pitching his heart out this whole series. He's human. He's going to have a game or two where he just doesn't perform up to what everybody is used to. The guy comes over last year in a trade with the Marlins that nobody thought we were really getting much of anything, definitely outperforms the expectation, comes back this year, does an unbelievable job, not only in during the season, but in the first 2 or 3 rounds of the playoffs, the wild card series, the division champion, the AL championship. And now, 1 or 2 games, he's struggling a little bit, but he still got out of it. He is our guy. Don't give up on your guys. That's not right. He's allowed to have a hiccup in a game or 2. Fairbanks, the same thing. The last 2 games, giving up a couple long balls. But guys, we're 1-1 in the World Series. 1-1. We're off today. Then we played Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if necessary, Tuesday and Wednesday. We have the team that is good enough to win. We stole a base yesterday. We hit a sac fly twice yesterday to score runs. We're doing the little things in baseball that it takes to win ball games. Yes, and we have the extra punch like a guy like Lau, a guy like Meadows who hasn't even started yet, showing what he can do offensively in these playoffs. We have a damn good team here, and don't think this team isn't good. It by far, when you put Matt's bullpen up the bullpen, there is no doubt that the Rays have the better bullpen. Jansen of the Dodgers is not what he used to be. He has not been performing. Kelly of the Dodgers has not been performing. Who knows how healthy Kershaw is? Yes, he outpitched himself incredibly. Tomorrow night, Charlie effing Morton is going. That's right. Charlie Morton versus Wallace Buehler. So what a game that's going to be. Morton's 3-0 right now in the playoffs. Everybody remembers the game clincher that got us into the World Series. So this is a good team. The one thing they have to do is just score a little bit more with runners in scoring position. I believe last night they were 1 for 9. I mean, as far as when they were in scoring position. But, overall, I'll take the win. They scored 6 runs. With our pitching staff, 6 runs should be more than enough runs, which it was yesterday, to win ball games. 4 RBIs of our RBIs came with 2 outs yesterday. So really, really big there. So, just a great show. And, once again, if Kevin Cash does not win American League Manager of the Year this year, then something's not right here. I mean, it's just not right. When you look at this guy and you look what he has done the last couple of years, and don't get me wrong, there's been people the last few years that have won this award that deserves it, like the Rocco Baldellis and whoever else, the A's manager, I think he won 2 years ago. But for those of you, tomorrow night, Friday night, Game 3, 8:08 p.m. on Fox Television, Charlie Morton versus Walker Buehler. Morton 3-0 in the playoffs. Buehler 1-0. Buehler, a great young right-handed pitcher. So you're going to probably see that lefty-style offensive team that you saw a little bit of yesterday. Similar lineup to that. He is 24-9 career. He averages over a strikeout an inning. So this is going to be a real tough game. The series now, the first 2 games are over. There's a day off. Then there's 3 games in a row. If necessary, a day off and 2 games. So we'll keep that followed as much as we can. But I want to remind you all that we are going, this is an interactive show tonight. I made it all interactive. Had an opportunity to have some people on the show tonight. I thought it was better that we leave the comment section open, that people are allowed to call in, which let me go ahead and put that number up right now if I can. Our producers can help me out there and get that up there. Thank you so much. That is the call-in number. If you want to call in, ask a question about the Rays, ask a question about the Bucs, please go ahead and do so. In a few moments, we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break. We have talked about the Rays. As far as the Rays go tomorrow night, expect the same type of play out of the Rays. You're going to see, the question is, are they going to put Perez behind the dish tomorrow, or are they going to put the righty Zunino? If according to analytics, I think you may see Perez, but Zunino's been hitting, so he may go with the hot hand. We'll see what Kevin Cash does, but a big game tomorrow night. A lot more of the same things we should see from our Rays, and I think that, everybody will end up being very, very happy with the results of this World Series. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking some Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're going to see some highlights. We're going to talk about what happened last week, what needs to happen this week. For those of you folks that want to go ahead and give us a call in, here is the number. Right there on your screen, 813-922-9810. The phone lines are open. If you do not get anyone, just wait till that person hangs up and then dial in and you'll be able to talk. What we're going to do right now is we're going to first take a break from our good friends at Kia Brandon, and then by our great friends over at Rent King at 609 West Brandon Boulevard here in Brandon, Florida. So let's go ahead and do that now. Are you in need of a car? If you're in need of a car and you're looking for someone that can provide you with not just a great vehicle with all the necessities you need, but great service, a great body shop, a great service department, you need to go to Kia Brandon. Whether you're looking for a used car, a new car, whatever car you might be looking for, they have a wide variety on their lot. Now, Kia Brandon is located, it's basically on the border of Brandon and Tampa, Florida. It's considered Tampa, Florida, on the corner of 301 and West 60 Boulevard. Go ahead, ask for Eldon, E-L-D-E-N. He's the one that took care of me with my new car. You ask for Eldon, tell him Larry from Frankly Speaking Sports sent you, and he will take extra good care of you. His name, once again, is Eldon Kia Brandon. When you're looking for great service and a great vehicle, that's a dynamic duo that no one can beat.
Rent King Sales and Lease Purchase. Rent King has quickly grown to become Florida's most popular choice for new furniture, appliances, computers, game systems, and consumer electronics. Our locally owned and operated business offers a selection of more than 10,000 name brand products through our flexible lease ownership plan. There's never a credit check at Rent King. You get instant approval, free same-day delivery, free product repairs, and you can purchase your leased products at any time using our exclusive Try It and Buy It 90 days same as cash plan or our king size early purchase discount. You'll always receive the highest level of service, the largest selection of brand name products, and the guaranteed lowest prices in town at Rent King Sales and Lease Purchase.
Hey, what type of mindset y'all gonna come out there with today?
Hustle's all I know. Say you working hard, well let's work some more. Say you on your job, time to let them know that you can't be stopped. You will not flop, give it all that you got, so you stay at the top.
Welcome back to Frankly Speaking Sports. Hope you all enjoying the show so far. And what a great, great show we continue to have for you. A couple seconds ago, I put up a call-in number, and there's our producers put it up again for you to call in if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, things you want to mention about the Rays or any other sports in our Tampa Bay area or anywhere. Go ahead, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to answer your question. But, before we get into this upcoming game coming up this weekend, I definitely want to go ahead and definitely talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their big 38-10 win over the Green Bay Packers over the weekend. What a game. I mean, you look at that game and you want to talk about the best balanced game that we played all year. It had to be this weekend. When you go ahead and you break down this game, first of all, congratulations to the entire coaching staff of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 0 penalties the entire game. That's 0 penalties. And when you want to win ball games, 2 of the battles you got to win is you got to win the turnover battle and you got to win the penalty battle, have less penalties than the other team. And obviously they did that with getting no penalties, but also give them credit. 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions, pretty much real quickly. The Jamel Dean pick 6. And I'll tell you what, you look at the first, maybe I say 12 minutes of that game, and it didn't look good. It did not look good. Let's not lie to ourselves. Aaron Rodgers was picking apart our defense on the first couple of drives. It looks like he was at will getting completions. And then all of a sudden, you get Jamel Dean with that pick 6, and the entire game, the entire momentum, the entire adrenaline, the entire complex of that game just changes at an instant. Unbelievable pick 6. Then it wasn't long before Mike Edwards came back and also went ahead and got an interception as well. Now, give the defense credit. They held Aaron Rodgers, who is at one heck of a quarterback. He only ended up 16 of 35, 160 yards, and 2 big interceptions. Now, everyone's out there crying, how about Tom Brady? Tom only threw for 166 yards. That's all Tom Brady needs to throw for. Okay, what are you more worried about? Tom Brady's stats or the W in the win column? You're worried about the W. Tom Brady doesn't have to throw 300 yards every single week on this team for us to win a ball game. We have a running back named Ronald Jones, and if you haven't noticed, the NFL is about to take notice on this guy. Third consecutive game. I believe he's the fourth running back in Buccaneer history to go ahead and do that, where he had over 100 yards in 3 consecutive games. Just an incredible job, 113 yards rushing on 23 carries. I believe he had 2 touchdowns, and listen to this, because this is one of the stats I look for, and I was talking to someone about this, 4.9 average per carry. Why is that important? When you look at Ronald Jones, he's running differently this year. And if you haven't noticed it, I don't know what the heck you're doing watching the games. Because when Ronald Jones is running with the ball now, he's not getting pushed backwards anymore. He is not losing yards after gain. He is now keeping those legs going, running forward, pushing guys down, and gaining those extra 2-3 yards instead of losing those extra 2 or 3 yards. And it's a big difference in the game of football. And it's noticeable. He is running mean. He is running hard. He is scaring people. And that's what you need to have in your running game. And that's why Tom didn't have to throw a lot. You know, give Rob Gronkowski credit. To me, he looked like the old Rob. You know, he was catching some difficult throws that he's used to catching with Tom Brady. He just making some spectacular catches. One of them, I believe, was for I don't know. Yeah, one was for a touchdown. He was targeted 8 times, had 5 receptions. And let's not forget the guy I talked about earlier in the season, that as the season goes on, especially if we get a little bump and bruises here, you're going to see a lot of is Tyler Johnson. He's a big red zone threat. He was a big red zone threat in college. And, of course, he had a big touchdown, a 7-yard touchdown pass, I believe it was, from Tom Brady for Tyler Johnson's first touchdown in his NFL career. So just a great, great, great job all over. But what about this defense? I mean, I'm telling you what, I don't know about you guys, but my imagination's going back to 2003 a little bit with this defense. And, you know, I don't think they're quite there yet, but darn, they're on the right pace because this defense is becoming dominant. You know, you look at Carlton Davis, you look at Jamal Dean, and these guys starting to play coverage. When they're man-to-man, I think they do very well. I just wish they would stay sometimes more man-to-man because I feel like they have much more control over the guy they're covering when they do that. But nevertheless, great, great job by both of them. What can you say about Devin White? Devin White is incredible. Every single play he is in on. This guy had 9 tackles, 1 assist, and 1 sack in the game versus Green Bay. All over this place. And Antoine Winfield Jr., you know, as he's learning every week, he's learning more and more. Then let's not forget, I say it every week, guys. Who is it? Lavonte David, the most underrated defensive player in the entire NFL, without a doubt. He has 6 tackles, 2 assists, and another 1.5 sacks. That's right, 1.5 sacks. And, you know, a couple of people say, well, Shaq Barrett, what's going on with him this year? Well, remember the first 6 games last year, Shaq Barrett didn't have Jason Pierre-Paul playing with him because he was out due to that neck injury. Well, Pierre-Paul's in there right now, had a sack and a half, 2 tackles, 4 assists over the weekend. And believe me, Barrett is there, guys. I don't know if you've seen him. He's around there. He's just not recording the sack. And those are the things in football that a lot of people do not see, is these guys swarming all over the place. It's a statistic that's not in there. You know, I want to know how my cornerbacks are doing, how my ends doing, how are they doing containing, so the guy's not going outside and they're forcing that guy inside so the interior linemen, the interior linebackers can go ahead and make that tackle like the Levante Davids. Those are stats you don't see in the box score over, on Monday. And there needs to be some recognition there. Number two, okay, all you people that were crying the week before versus Chicago about Donovan Smith, where the hell are you now? Where are you now saying great job protecting Tom Brady versus the Packers? Unbelievable. Had no penalties. Yet I haven't heard one person say something good. Because we are taught, we are trained to tell people only when they do bad. This was by far the best balanced performance by a Buccaneer team that we have seen in a very, very long time. And I would go as far as saying, and I think Coach Arians would agree with me, that it was probably the best well-balanced game he's seen since he's been here as a coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's see, I'm just reading some notes. Okay, just came in that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are currently the number one defense in the National Football League. They are ranked number one in the league, in the NFL for defense. So a great job to our Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For those of you that are on, I gave a call-in number, 813-922-9810. You can reach us there with any questions, thoughts, or concerns you have about the Buccaneers, about the Rays, or just leave a message like some of our other folks have done. Just let me know who you are. I want to remind you all that if you have not become yet a member of our other accounts that have many different ways of keeping up with us, keeping up with news, keeping up with interviews, keeping up with podcasts, you need to do so. The first way is obviously you go to Facebook, you go to our Facebook group. We have two groups now. One is Frankly Speaking Sports. Go ahead, ask to join. We'll approve you. You'll be a member. Second is we do a Bullseye show. Bullseye, it's USF. We cater to USF every Tuesday night. Myself and my great co-host, Bradley Lewis Walker. We try to get somebody involved with USF, a former player, or somebody that's worked with the USF organization, whether it's in football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, whatever other sports there might be. We try to get them on to talk to you, and we've been very, very successful. That's Bullseye, all capital letters, BULLS space EYE. So that's our Facebook way. As far as staying in touch with everything Frankly Speaking Sports does, go to YouTube. That's right, YouTube. You go to YouTube, and it's at Larry Frankus. That's with a U-S at the end. Larry Frankus. And you can go ahead, subscribe to our Twitter account. I'm sorry, that's our Twitter account at Larry Frankus. And then if you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, go to Frankly Speaking Sports. You need to type in all three words. We have a channel. You can also go to our Facebook group. The channel is now on there for your ease of finding it. Go ahead, become a member of our YouTube channel, get all the videos, all the latest updates on news in the sports world, everything you can imagine. We want you to be a part of. Now, while I'm out of breath, let's see what else we can find for you here on Frankly Speaking Sports tonight, as we are about to review this weekend's game between your Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Las Vegas Raiders. Take a quick little drink right here. And I want to remind you, we left that number up if you want to call in. I'm checking messages right now to see if anybody's left it, because I can only see so many messages. So bear with me a minute, because I want to make sure that I do get to answer all the messages here tonight. As I go to our group pages, I see so many messages. All right, let's see. All right. So we got all the messages on there from our YouTube users. So let's go ahead and break down this game. Now the Raiders are 3-2 this year. If you have not known, the Raiders are 3-2. Now, once again, if you're joining us late, I'll say it again. This game was originally scheduled for 8:05 Sunday night. That time has been changed. The NFL wanted to make sure they had a Sunday night game, and with the COVID outbreak that's going on in Las Vegas, I guess part of them was scared that if they should not be able to play a game, then they would not have a Sunday night game. So right now, the Raiders versus the Buccaneer game is rescheduled to 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday. For those of you Tampa Bay fans and a lot of you Los Angeles fans, which are, of course, Dodger fans, this is some good news. You get to go ahead and watch the Buccaneers and the Raiders. Immediately following that, you make sure you stay tuned on Fox Television for the World Series. So it's a win-win. You get to watch both games, and you get to watch Tampa Bay win both. Oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's right. So that's that. Now, I'm going to tell you something about this Raiders team. This Raiders team is 3-2 playing the Buccaneers, which is 4-2. Now, this is a team that so far this year has had to rely on their passing game. They've had to rely. They got a terrific quarterback in Derek Carr. Listen to these stats for Derek Carr in his first 5 games. 73.1% completion ratio. 115.9 passing rating. 11 touchdowns to 1 interception is his touchdown to interception ratio. Just an incredible quarterback. And those are the type of quarterbacks John Gruden likes. Now, the Raiders are averaging 30.2 points a game and just under 400 yards a game. And I should say that's basically clock, because their running game hasn't done much with Josh Jacobs. Tampa Bay has the top-ranked defense, and of course, included in that is the top-ranked Russian defense. So, they're going to have to rely on that main receiver. This is what's going to be weird for the Buccaneers, and I'm interested in see how they're going to play Jamal Dean and the rest of these guys, because this is primarily a tight end passing team. They pass a lot to the tight end. I believe it's Damon? I believe it's Damon or Darren Waller is the tight end on that team. In 2019, he had 90 receptions for over 1,100 yards, and so far this year, he has 34 receptions for just under 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, it's an unbelievable tight end position there, and they are not afraid to throw the ball. So on an average, he's averaging 7 catches a game from the tight end position, which is just incredible. And when you look at this, they have not yet had a rusher through 5 games that has rushed for, I believe, over 80 yards. I think 88 yards might have been the most they've had in the first 5 games. So Jacobs, although he is a tough runner and can explode at any time, he has not been that explosive yet. And then, they got some young receivers on that team. Everybody knows Hunter Renfrow. And they also have the rookie Henry Ruggs, who is an exceptional receiver and is just going to keep getting better week after week after week after week. So, the great thing about this team is their offensive line has been strong. Now, our defensive line has been strong. So it's going to be, the interesting battle is going to be the line battle between their offensive line and our defensive line, because in the first 5 games, the offensive line of the Las Vegas Raiders has only given up 8 sacks, which is less than 2 sacks a game. So, it's a really, really good offensive line, and I'm interested in seeing how well we can handle that. This team, they're in ball games. When they lose, they usually don't lose by much, and when they win, they don't usually win by much. You're going to get those games where, maybe one or the other once in a while, but overall, they play good, hard football. Everybody knows John Gruden likes to pound that rock, but obviously this year, pounding the rock has not been that effective. As I read some more comments here. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. One of the things you can see here also before we get back to what I was saying is on the bottom of our screen, you will see all the games, not necessarily in time order. I know the Raiders have changed the time with the Bucs, and I believe Seattle or someone, or it might have been San Francisco, New England, someone changed that 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. But those are the games and those are the point spreads when I went ahead and did everything on Thursday, which is today. So I laid that up there for you so that you could see that. And before we leave, I'm pulling them up now. I want to go ahead. I'm going to wrap up the Buccaneers this weekend, what they need to do to win. And then we're going to go ahead and tell you our picks for Week 7's games. As far as the Buccaneers go, they need to do more of the same. I don't really think the game plan needs to change. This is a Raiders team, like I said, that uses the tight end. They're going to have to team somebody up. Well, I believe it's going to be Jamal Dean on this tight end, Waller, and see what they can do. But overall, I really think that the Buccaneers can go ahead and run the ball versus this team, and I know they can pass the ball. So what I would look, in order for the Buccaneers to win this game, they need to do exactly what they did the last game, have very few, if any, penalties, because penalties kill you, and win the turnover battle. And if they do that, Tom Brady's too good to lose the game. Their defense will be where they need to be. They're too good to lose the game. So it's going to all be an upside. This game is going to be played now earlier, which I don't think really has that much of an effect on either team. If I'm the Bucs, I want to get it over with. Let's play it. But I look for a convincing win by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but, I look for Ronald Jones getting about 110 to 120 yards rushing in this game on a little over 20 carries, which is what he's, anywhere between 20 and 25 carries. Obviously, if we get an early enough lead and we start running away with it, you're going to see him run a little bit more. You may see Keyshawn Bond catch a couple more balls out of the backfield. They're going to try to use Gronk a little bit. But remember, you got Godwin back now. You got Evans back now. You still got Cameron Brate there. I mean, there are so many weapons that Tom Brady has on this team. It's just baffling. So I think at the end of the day, this game could easily be a 24-10 Bucs win in Vegas this weekend, and that's what I'm going with. So those of you, we're about to do our picks for Week 7, the upcoming week. Any of you, once again, we're going to be taking down the call-in line in a few minutes. If you want to call in, make any comments, any thoughts, please go ahead and do so now. If you want to go ahead and you want to leave a comment in the comment section, please go ahead and just let me know who you are. But, we are going to, let me just pull this up. Okay, there we go. As I'm just moving some stuff around here, doing a little maintenance. All right. So there's the caller number one more time. 813-922-9810 is the number you can reach us at here at Frankly Speaking Sports for all your Tampa sports and all your sports needs. Let's go ahead and see if I can pull up on my phone. And for those of you that I did not print these to put this up with you, so Bear with me a minute while I pull these up. There we go. All right. All right, the first game. Here we go, folks. The New York Giants are playing at Philadelphia. I believe that game's tonight. Philadelphia is favored by 3.5. I picked the Eagles to win that game and to cover the points. I do not know the score right now, but that's what I picked. All right, then going into Sunday, Dallas plays at Washington. Dallas is a 3-point favorite. I am picking the Redskins to upset the Dallas Cowboys. That is my upset pick of the week. The next game is Buffalo at the New York Jets. Buffalo is favored by 12.5. I think Buffalo easily covers that and will beat the New York Jets. Then you got Carolina at New Orleans. New Orleans is favored by 7.5 points. I am taking the Saints over the Panthers. Then you got Green Bay at Houston. Alrighty, Green Bay is favored by 3.5. I am taking the Green Bay Packers over the Houston Texans. Then you got Cleveland at Cincinnati. Cleveland is a 3.5-point favorite. I am taking the Browns. Then you got Pittsburgh and Tennessee. Pittsburgh at Tennessee. Pittsburgh is actually favored by 1.5 points. I am taking, in the game of the week, I call it, the Tennessee Titans. Then you got Detroit at Atlanta. Atlanta is a 3-point favorite over Detroit, and I am taking the Detroit Lions. Then you got Seattle at Arizona. Seattle is a 3.5-point favorite. I am taking the Seattle Seahawks. Then you got Jacksonville at the LA Chargers. The LA Chargers are an 8.5-point favorite. I am taking the Chargers. Then you got San Francisco at New England. New England is 2.5-point favorites. I'm taking the 49ers. Then you got Kansas City at Denver. Kansas City is a 9-point favorite. I am taking the Kansas City Chiefs. Then you got Tampa Bay, a 3-point favorite over the Las Vegas Raiders. I am taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then in the Monday night game, the Chicago Bears versus the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are 5.5-point favorites. I am taking the Rams. So there are my picks so far this year. Frankly speaking, sports picks are 46 right and 45 wrong for 51% of the time correct. Want to remind you all that if you did not know, also this weekend, Big Ten football starts, I believe. So I'm not sure who's playing and what's going on, but I believe the Big Ten does open up this weekend. So college football pretty much in full swing now, when it wasn't too long ago that we were expecting no college football at all. So it's really, really good to see that we're going to have all the different conferences finally playing. For those of you wondering, we had talked about the first half about the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay Rays, the next 3 nights, 8 o'clock games. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on Fox Television. That would be game 3, 4, and 5 of the World Series. If necessary, they'll be back again and playing Tuesday and Wednesday at 8 o'clock as well. So the latest baseball season can go, depending on weather, would be, I believe, Wednesday night. So we're finally getting back to some normalcy. Also, we're less than about a month away where college basketball starts back up. I believe the date is November 25th or somewhere around that day, that right around Thanksgiving time is when college basketball is planning on making their return. So lots of great things happening. Like we said at the beginning of the show, it is such a great, great time to be a Tampa Bay sports fan. We have the Lightning. They won the Stanley Cup. We have the Rays. They're in the World Series. And our hope is that they're going to win the World Series. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who at the moment are in first place in the NFC South. And we have the Rowdies. So, we should be okay. And for one of our YouTube users say, weather shouldn't be a problem. I'm trying to remember that park there in Arlington. I think it's a retractable roof, if I'm correct. Don't quote me on that. So the weather shouldn't be a problem. I think it takes like 20 minutes to close it. If it is a retractable, I'm not sure, but I'm not even worrying about the weather right now. Let's just win the next 3 games and take it home. But for all of you, I do want to remind you that our next live, Frankly Speaking Sports telecast will be this Monday night. We have a very special guest lined up that I'm not yet going to announce. Want to make sure it's confirmed first, but it'll be a name that everybody does know. That's number one. I also want to remind you that, once again, if you want to stay in touch with Frankly Sports, you want to stay in touch with these interviews, you want to stay in touch with the different shows we do and all the necessary and updated sports information that we provide, besides Frankly Speaking Sports on Facebook, we also have a Twitter account at Larry Frankus. That's with the US at the end. And also, we have a YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. It's free. Our YouTube channel is free, and you can go back and see all the episodes we ever done of Frankly Speaking Sports. All you have to do is type in Frankly Speaking Sports, go to our channel and subscribe. Or if you're on the Frankly Speaking Sports group Facebook page, there is a link on there as well. We put a little ad up there earlier today. Go to the YouTube pod. It'll say subscribe, and you will be a member of our YouTube channel as well. Ladies and gentlemen, want to thank you all. I want to thank you all very, very much for joining us tonight on Frankly Speaking Sports. Everybody have a safe weekend. Horns up for the Bulls, who play tomorrow night, USF. Raise up for the Tampa Bay Rays, who play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And let's go ahead and fire those cannons for our Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. Until next time.